Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scout Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 9 stage show. It's an AFC South that's an AFC matchup tonight. Uh, and it's right now it's between the Houston Texans and the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, and it's 7-0 Houston. Second quarter with 19 seconds to go till halftime, so it's been a very low scoring affair this first half. We'll get to that momentarily, but first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 9 trivia question. And it is a Houston Texans trivia question. Who was the first player in NFL history to pass for 400 yards, throw 4 TD passes, and rush for 50 yards in a single game? And if I'll have the answer later in the podcast. Well, it's Thursday Night Football Week 9. We have a great AFC matchup, as I mentioned, for you tonight. The Houston Texans and the New York Jets are battling it out right now at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Uh, the Jets are consensus 2-point favorites over the Texans tonight to win this game. Jets 2 with the over-under set at 42 points scored. Houston was favored by 1.5 points, on Sunday, but line shifted drastically toward New York early in the week. The Texans beat the Colts 23-20 last week for their fifth straight win of the season by 6 or fewer points. C.J. Stroud threw for 285 yards last week, while Joe Mixon registered his fourth 100-yard rushing game of the season in just 5 appearances. The Jets lost 25-22 to the Patriots for their fifth straight loss. Aaron Rodgers was solid with 233 yards and a touchdown, and 2 touchdowns, But New England scored 18 second half points to seal a comeback win. The Texans' offensive line struggled significantly last week, allowing C.J. Stroud to face 23 pressures, the second most of the week. This week, Stroud's matchup gets even tougher against Jets defense that ranks sixth in pressure rate, with Stroud now missing his 2 wide receivers in Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs. The Texans will likely opt for a more conservative heavy game plan to avoid testing the Jets' elite secondary. On the other side, the Jets offense also faces an uphill battle. New York will face a red-hot Texans defense that applies pressure across the entire defense line at a league-high rate. Aaron Rodgers will be without right guard Elijah Vera Tucker, making him even more vulnerable to pressure. The Texans' secondary has been strong with Derek Stingley Jr. and Kamari Lassiter, capable of limiting big plays, which could make it tough for Rodgers to lean on his two top targets in Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams. And it's right now halftime, 7-0. Uh, Texans at halftime. Uh, Very low scoring affair first half. And I'm going to do the preview for you first. I want to read that to you. Now I'll let you know where we stand. Uh, CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans had lofty expectations entering the season as they're still well on track to fulfill them, but their 6-2 start has been far from easy or pretty, and the banged up AFC South leaders know it. I think it's a goal we had was to start fast, and I believe that we've been putting on some good balls, Stroud said, but we have a lot to still clean up. Uh, they've won 4 of their past 5, with the only loss coming on a field goal as time expired at Green Bay on October 20th. Next up is a Halloween night matchup against Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets, and the struggling New York Jets, who are 2-6, who have dropped 5 straight, and they're battling it out right now. It's just exciting times, Stroud said. It's coming into the 2 hardest months of ball. It's November and December. We get to end October on a prime time, and it's going to be a great matchup against the Jets. We've got to be able to be ready and try to finish October the right way. They'll have to do it without their without 2 of their biggest playmakers, on offense. Though wide receiver Stephon Diggs tore the ACL in his right knee and is out for the season, and fellow receiver Nico Collins remains on injured reserve with a hamstring injury. A lot of the guys have to step up, pick up the slack. Coach DeMeco Ryan said, "It's definitely a blow to us." Meanwhile, Rodgers and the Jets limp into the game at MetLife Stadium 4 days after dropping a 25-22 decision in New England that left their fans frustrated and deflated. And the chances of snapping a 13-year postseason drought seem unlikely. And it's only halfway through the season. Just got to win, baby, Rodgers said when asked of his mindset. That, of course, has been easier said than done. The Jets fired coach Robert Saleh on October 8th, replaced him with defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, pulled offensive play calling duties from Nathaniel Hackett in favor of Todd Downing, traded for wide receiver Devontae Adams, and finally got edge rusher Hassan Reddick on the field after he ended his lengthy contract holdout. Still, New York is trying to avoid its first 6-game skid since losing the final 6 of the 2022 season. Just smile and show up. Trust, believe, and root us on as hard as you can, Rodgers said of his message to the fans. We need that noise. We're trying and to rectify this as quickly as possible. I know it's been frustrating for everybody, but still a lot of season is left. With Diggs and Collins out, Houston's top healthy receiver is Tank Dell, but the Texans will need others to step up if they hope to keep the passing game going Thursday night. The Texans have Robert Woods, Xavier Hutchinson, and John Mechie at wide receiver, but none has contributed much this season. The 3 have combined for just 146 yards receiving. All we ask is win your one-on-ones and make the plays that you're supposed to make. Ryan said, if guys do that collectively as a team, will be just fine. Rodgers has been dealing with a sprained ankle, sore knee, and tight hamstring, all in his left leg. Uh, the same one to which he suffered a torn Achilles tendon 4 snaps into his debut last year. The 40-year-old quarterback has been less mobile than he typically has been throughout his career after scrambling for 18 yards against New England in Week 3 and 26 against Minnesota in Week 4. Rodgers hasn't had a single rushing attempt. But he says he's feeling good physically this week. He even half joking that a cayenne pepper and water uh, suggested by punter Thomas Morstead has helped. And with Houston's Jack Happy defensive line on tap, Rodgers will likely have to use his legs a bit. I'm not the runner I once was, Rodgers acknowledged. I led our team in rushing a handful of games over the years. I don't want to have to do that, but I've got to be able to move around. Joe Mixon has wowed fans with several highlight reel plays in his first season with the Texans. The most recent came when the running back dragged a defensive back into the end zone with him on a touchdown run against the Colts. The play was jaw-dropping to some, but for Ryans, it's just what he expects from Mixon. I've seen him run. I've seen him his entire career and how he's made plays, so he doesn't surprise me. Ryan said, "That's how he is all week. He's on edge. He wants the ball every single snap. I love that mindset." Uh, Mixon ranks third in the NFL by averaging 100.6 yards rushing a game and has had at least 100 yards rushing and a TD run in 3 straight games. Coaches and staff members of the Texans and Jets will walk the stands at MetLife Stadium a few hours before the game to participate in the Knapp Stair Climb to honor former NFL assistant coach Greg Knapp. Knapp, then a member of the Jets coaching staff, died in July 2021 when he was hit by a car while riding his bicycle near his home in California. He was 58 years old. Uh, uh, the teams are climbing the stairs. One of Knapp's pregame traditions to benefit the Coach Knapp Memorial Fund, which was started by Knapp's wife Charlotte and his close friend and agent Jeff Spearbeck. The film was established to educate drivers on the dangers of distracted driving to reduce the number of distracted driving related crashes and deaths. So, uh, and so that's basically that was the preview I just read you. I will let you know where we stand in just a moment. But right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football uh, Week 9 trivia question. It's a Texans trivia question. Uh, who was the first player in NFL history to pass for 400 yards, throw 4 TD passes, and rush for 50 yards in a single game? And if you said Deshaun Watson, you are correct. In Week 8 of his rookie season, Deshaun Watson showed his potential as the league's next superstar QB. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL in practice the following week and was lost for the year, and he hasn't done much here with Cleveland. And now I have another trivia question on my next podcast. which will be for my Sky Sports 101 Browns NFL early games pregame show on Sunday, so stay tuned for that. And right now it's halftime. I'll let you know where we stand. First quarter, the Texans have to punt after going 3 and out, 6 plays, 27 yards. Then the Jets had to punt after going 3 plays, minus yards after going 3 and out, 3 plays, minus yards. Then the Texans fumbled. CJ Stroud sacked. It was a second 11 at the Jets 12. CJ Stroud sacked at the New York Jets 18 for minus 6 yard fumbles. Clemens recovered by New York Jets wide receiver McDonald at the Jets 18. And then the Jets had to punt after going 3 and out, 4 plays, 13 yards. And the Texans had to punt after going 3 and out, 4 plays, 4 yards. And then the Jets fumbled. It was a first and 10 at the Houston 19. Curly right end for 19 yards. It was a touchdown. The replay official reviewed. The runner broke the game playing ruling, and the play was reversed. Curly right end. Houston Houston won for 18-yard fumbles. Ball out of bounds in the end zone for a touchback. And it was scoreless at the end of the first quarter. The Texans had to go 3 and out after the punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays, 5 yards. Then the Jets had the punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays, 4 yards. And the Texans scored their first touchdown of the game. Joe Mixon left in for the 3-yard touchdown. Fairbairn's extra point is good, and it's 7-0 Texans. Jets had to punt after going 3 and out, 4 plays, 3 yards. And then 4th and 14, the Jets 38, and they tried to get a touchdown, couldn't do it. It was a Fairbairn's 56-yard field goal was no good. It went wide right, and it was still 7-0. And then the Jets had to punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays, no yards, and then first and 10 at the Houston 20. CJ Stroud nails it to the Houston 19 for minus 1 yard. So that's how the first half shaped up, and now it's in the third quarter, just getting underway. And Fairbairn kicks 65 yards from the Houston 35 to the end zone for a touchback, and that's where we stand. It's a 1st and 10 at the Jets 30, and then the Jets have the ball. So we'll see. Can Houston extend their lead and get the win, or can the Jets play hard, rally, and get the win this game and be able to hold on to the lead? We'll see. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up. Oh, before I forget, I want to congratulate Dave Roberts and the Los Angeles Dodgers on becoming the 2024 World Series champions as they beat the New York Yankees. I think it was a 6-2 last night to become the 2024 World Series champions. And congratulations, Dodgers, and winning your your 8th World Series title. So that ends the baseball season. That's going to wrap it up for the Sky Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 9 update show. I'll be back with the Sky Sports 101 Thursday Night Football postgame show once the game between the Jets and Texans has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done. Happy Halloween. Trick or treat.